Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today I bring you a game which I played against Mr. Otim Isaac, who is a lawyer by profession. We are both old boys from Ginger College in Uganda. So this was like a derby match. This game still took place in the Pearl of Africa Class Coaches Tournament 2024, and it was in the final round where I only needed a draw to be crowned champion. As you can see in the picture, round 5, and before round 5 I had won my game against Mr. Antoma Calvin, and you see Mr. Tim also had won his game. So I had the maximum of 5 points. He had 4.5 with a draw in round 2, which he made. So we were versing in the final round. He needed a win, and me I only needed a draw to seal the championship, to be crowned champion of the Pearl of Africa 2024. So I was playing black, and the team Isaac was playing white. So team Isaac in the white pieces opened with d4, then I played knight f6, c4, then I played e6, and after knight c3 I played d5. This is the queen's gambit declined. After bishop g5 pinning my knight, I played bishop e7 and pinning, knight f3, c6, playing solid chess so that I don't leave any stone unturned. When he played e3, trying to open up for the white bishop to come into play, I played short castling. Bishop d3, then I played knight b d7. In this position, I followed the principle that knights first, then bishops follow, and I was very excited in this position because I knew that at least out of the opening, the game is solid and there's no way he could penetrate to enter into my camp. So he played queen c2, trying to attack the h7 pawn, and also in the future when he castles, the rooks can be connected easily. So I played d takes c4 to disorganize the harmony of the bishop, which is on d3, and he played bishop c4. After bishop c4, I remember the game which I had played between Mr. Mokonde Peter against Sanya Derrick myself. I played b5. And after playing b5, Mr. Mokonde played bishop d3. And when I played bishop b7, he played knight e5, trying to attack the pawn, which is on c6. Because now if you see, so long as the knight is out of the way, the knight and the queen can attack the pawn just in case in the future. So I played h6, trying to chase the bishop to go away from the g5 square. Then he played knight d7. So I played knight d7, and he played bishop e7. I played queen takes e7. So in the game against Mr. Mukunda, he played knight e5 so that he can try to stop any expansions on the queen side, of which I went ahead to play. I played c5, opening up for the bishop. So I played d takes c5, and then I played knight e5, attacking the bishop, which is on d3, at the same time defending the square, which is on c6. So he played short castling, and then I played f5, trying to attack the knight, which is on e4, and also cutting off the queen and the bishop battery. So he played knight d6, attacking the bishop, which is on b7. Then I played knight f3. In case of pawn takes knight on f3, then queen g5 check. In case of king goes to h1, then bishop takes f3 is a checkmate. That's why in this position after knight f3, Mr. Mukunde Peter played king h1. Then I played queen h4. Now if you look at this position, the knight and the queen are emphasizing a checkmate to happen on h2. So he played h3, and then I went ahead to play knight d4, sacrificing the knight, attacking the queen at the same time, threatening queen takes h3, because now the pawn is pinned against the king by the bishop, which is on b7. So I played e takes d4, then I played queen takes h3, and after king g1, I played queen takes g2, and it was a checkmate. So let's go back. I didn't want to risk anything, so I went ahead, I played a simple move. I played knight d5. So he played bishop takes e7, I played queen takes e7, and after short castling, I went ahead to play knight takes e3. Queen takes c3, then I played c5. So after c5, he played bishop d3. So the best move after bishop d3 was basically going ahead to play b6. That in case he plays bishop e4, then I could play rook b8, rook sc1, knight f6, attacking the bishop which is on e4, bishop c6, bishop s6, attacking the rook. After rook fe1, at least the game is equal and black can go ahead to play. But I didn't want to go into these lines. So after bishop d3, I went ahead to just play pawn takes d4. And after pawn takes d4, I played knight f6. So I entered with knight e5. Then I played queen d6. But before, let's go back. There was an interesting line which would begin with b6. Try rook fc1, and then I could play bishop b7. He would play queen c7, of which would be a little bit complicated to go ahead to fight in the game. So that's why in this position, I played, after knight e5, I played queen d6, and he went on to play rook a d1. So I played b6, trying to fianchet and put my bishop on b7. He played h3. In this position, a more aggressive line, which I was expecting that he would try in the position, playing queen c6. So that in case I play queen takes c6, knight takes c6, bishop b7, knight e7 check, king h8, rook c1, trying to penetrate and enter on c7. After rook fd8, rook c7 would be very powerful. After b6, I was expecting queen c6, but when he played h3, opening a window where the king could run to, so I played bishop b7, putting the bishop on this beautiful diagonal. Then he played bishop b1, in anticipation of either putting the queen on c2 or d3 to put pressure on the h7 square after moves like maybe knight g4, trying to do those funny exchanges and threaten to checkmate. So I played rook sc8. So after queen g3, then I played g6, blockade the bishop which is on b1. So I played queen h4, attacking my knight, and I played king g7. After f4, I played h5 in anticipation of a move like, for example, maybe bishop e4, then he would play knight e4, and it will be a little bit not clear in the position because now it has their weaknesses which are on h6 and also on f6, and also the bishop which is on e4 is hanging. So that's why I played h5, stopping the knight jumps which could come on g4. In this position, ladies and gentlemen, there was an interesting line which would begin with f5, and after e takes f5, rook takes f5, g takes f5, then queen g5 check, and after king h8, then queen h6 check, king g8, bishop takes f5, and after rook fd8, rook d3, it would at least give white more chances of attack because of moves like maybe rook coming to g3 to check. The bishop is watching over this diagonal. The knight is also putting pressure on this f7 player. It will be a little bit unclear for black to continue. But in this position after h5, Otim played bishop takes g6. And after f takes g6, he played queen g5. Now queen g5 is attacking the pawn, and the queen and the knight are supporting to take the pawn on g6. So I played bishop e4, trying to defend my pawn which is on g6, and he played f5, trying to block my bishop from defending the pawn on g6. So I played bishop takes f5, and he played rook takes f5, removing the defender. E takes f5, he played queen takes g6, and I played king h8, queen h6 check, king g8, rook d3, and rook d3 is anticipating to come on g3 and checkmate the black king. So there was an interesting move which would begin with knight g4. Remember, this knight g4 is cutting off all the potential squares where the king can come from and sacrificing the queen. So in case of queen takes d6, then rook c1 will be checkmate. Let's go back. After rook d3, in this position, I played knight e4 in anticipation of defending my queen and also threatening to take the rook if we could land on g3. So he played rook g3 check, and then I played knight takes g3, sacrificing the queen. After queen takes d6, I played rook c1 check, and after king h2, I played knight f1 check. So remember, these two squares where the king can go from, the knight is watching. So after king g1, I played knight g3. So in case he tries to play a move like maybe king f2, then I had a simple tactical move which would win the game on the spot by playing knight e5 check, forking the king and the queen and winning the game. And after king f3, knight takes d6. This one gives black a winning advantage. That's why in this position, after knight d3, he played king h2, and in this position, he settled for draw, and I was crowned champion. I would like to show you some of the moments when I was being crowned champion. These are some of the photos which we took during the moment when I was being crowned as champion of the Pearl of Africa Chess Championship of 2024. So much for watching, and I wish you the best of luck in your games.